Hi, Cancer. This is Jess with your September 1st to the 15th reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So, Cancer, your theme for these first 2 weeks of September is breaking the cycle, getting off of the hamster wheel, finding a new beginning, although life seems to be repeating itself. Okay. I do see that there are definitely some changes in the way that some of you are thinking and communicating. Okay. It looks like there's some endings that has happened. Some of you are coming to terms with your emotions. As I was shuffling the deck, I just felt good. At first, I felt like it was Cancer season, and I was like, "Oh, I have to tell them happy birthday." And then I said, "Well, wait a minute, it's September. It's Virgo season." But it seems like we were just in Cancer season, almost like we didn't even feel the effects of Leo. So it's saying to me that there's still some maternal energy afloat here, some emotional stirrings up, if you will, and needing to settle some things as relates to the emotions. Some of you, I feel like there's some changes as a mother, okay? Be it if you are pregnant, you may be hearing that, excuse me. I'm sorry. You may be hearing that you're pregnant. Okay. Some of you may feel like this is not necessarily the opportune time for you to be pregnant. Okay. Because there's like bittersweetness I get here for some of you. You may be saying goodbye to your child. Okay. But you may be at those years where there's no possibility that you can have another child. There may be a time when you're mourning the loss of someone. For some of you, there's some mourning that's going on. And so some form of newness is going to take place of that mourning. Okay, so if you guys have recently lost someone, for some of you, you found out either you or someone close to you is expecting. Okay. But then I'm not gonna say there's complications, but then it's bittersweet. So yes, you're pregnant, but then there's some issues around, the aspects of that pregnancy. So for some of you, you will be able to understand what that means exactly. There is this happiness, there's an underlay of happiness, things moving forward. So if some of you, you may feel like, okay, I have the career that I want. I have a secure, stable home. My life looks really good on paper, but I feel on an emotional level, on a love level, I may feel trapped. Okay. I may feel stuck. I may feel like I'm going around and around in circles with the same person, with the same circumstance, different people, same circumstance, same person, different circumstance. But again, we've been through this before. And there's an inability to escape from it, or not necessarily escape, but then to fully take the free will and the control and to move forward. And that's been, I feel, because your emotions have been tied to this cycle, right? And there's a strong pull. Some of you, excuse me, as this relates to work, as this relates to family, as it relates to a friend, that again, there needs to be a transition. And it could be something that completely ends. This is no longer, we can no longer be this. I can no longer work here. But then the obligation is, well, I have 3 years to my pension. I have 5 more years to retirement. I have, 10 more years and I can go to the next level and I'll be at a bracket, a tax bracket that I want to be at, or salary bracket rather. No one wants to really pay taxes, right? But a salary bracket that you would like to be at. So there is this underlying base of having put in a lot of time, effort, energy, work. Okay. There being something that was great at one point, but now life is kind of urging you to make some significant changes to your cycle, to your habits, to your way of thinking, to your way of doing things. If you are someone that gets pleasure from helping others, being a service to others, doing what you need to do for others, but always after realizing that the same isn't coming back to you, and you realizing that I have to, be a little bit more stern. I have to, you know, create a little bit more boundaries for myself. Those are the things that I see kind of needing to be transformed for some cancers. There looks to be some of you are going to be starting a new job. Okay. Excuse me, leaving one opportunity and moving on to another. With this will come a lot of work, and you may not realize just how much of a difference this new environment is versus where you've come from. Okay. So leaving something may shake some of you up. You may look back and say, why did I leave that to begin with? Someone may even say to you, why did we ever break up? I'm not happy now that we're not together. That sort of thing. Some of you may have that urge and need to go back to something or go to something that isn't necessarily worthwhile to you. Okay. But again, it is that cycle that you must break. I do see that there's some conflicts. So there could be or have been some issues at work, family, any area that this relates to in your life. And that's created some isolation. Okay, taking a step back from someone or circumstance. Okay. And with that, I feel about as we get to week 2, some of you guys are going to take a logical approach, or you may feel like if someone, again, you're going through this same cycle, and the person kind of takes you through this cycle in order to control you, right? You may realize, and it could be at the workplace too. It's not always love related. It could be with your friends, your family. It could be with an acquaintance. It could be with people at work. You find yourself going through this same cycle. And a lot of you, by the time we get to week 2, you may feel like all you want to do is kind of escape and be free. And some of you may realize that you need to do that for yourself. You need to disconnect from something that's weighing you down, something that's becoming too controlled. Others of you, you may want to have a sense of freedom, but then you have obligations, responsibility. So again, I get this bittersweetness. It seems like new things are happening, but with the new things, it doesn't allow for you to be completely nude and free, because there's still things that are in existence that is a cycle or has been a cycle that is yet to completely break free to allow you to be this completely new person. So it's in your mind, you've been manifesting it, and it has helped move you away from certain things, but it's not completely transformed you where you can look in the mirror and say, I'm a completely different person, or my environment is a completely new arena. So you're not completely there yet, but you are taking the steps forward, especially if you guys have recently lost someone. You have your good days, you have your not so great days. And it's a peak and valley. It's an up and down. And some days you just mull through it and you put your head down and you get it done. And other days you feel very hopeful and you feel like, you know what? I know things are going to be okay. You have your faith. Okay. And I feel that in the second week, not only will you start to feel a sense of being able to kind of like shed some of that a bit, I feel like you're going to become a little bit more in controlled and more logical and practical about the situation moving forward. Okay. Some of you, it could be at the hands of losing your partner, by way of a passing, by way of, divorce, that sort of thing. Or again, coming to the realization that that's what has to happen. Okay. So others of you in that needing to disconnect from whatever that circumstance or situation is, you'll gain that understanding, you'll gain that sense of logic and control, and you will move forward, okay? And when you do that, it will be quite successful for some of you, but just understand that, it's a road ahead of you, okay? Some of you may feel like this road is long, but you'll get there, and it looks like it's going to be quite good once you officially get on that newness. Because as I was laying down the first layer of cards, it's like, wow, there's so much new, great stuff happening for you guys. And that's the basis of everything. But as you build, the reality is that some of you are not quite there yet. And if you felt like you were there at one point, you may be feeling like, damn, I'm getting knocked down a little bit here. But then you're going to go back and everything is going to kind of level out again. So it seems to be the theme for everyone. Some people are getting knocked down just to get back up. Some people are coming out of, a storm. Other people are starting to kind of going to start to go down into a storm. But it all seems a bit temporary. For these cancers that I'm speaking to, for some of you that can relate to this message, it looks like the basis, like I said, of what you guys are going through is far more stronger than the reality of things right now. So you're going to get there, but again, just be ginger with yourself because it's going to take some time. As it relates to your finances, it looks like for those of you that are working, again, it looks like you're just working a lot. There's a lot of work to be had. Maybe some of you are using work to kind of escape from other issues in life and to try to help, get you through. And I feel like that's not going to completely work because this transition is really going to, whenever you have moments, your mind is going to go to that. You will have times of reflection. You may feel like out of some type of fallout, conflict with family, friends, coworkers, that sort of thing. Again, you will not need to step back. So either you went through some form of crisis, and out of that crisis, some people showed you who they were. And so now you're reevaluating who means what to you in your life. For some of you and others of you, I feel you may just be going through, again, having to accept and go through the motions of having lost someone. And again, just like I said, the process of that. So that's what I have for you guys. It's not mundane. It's not negative. For those of you that can relate to this, it's a process. Others of you that feel like this is definitely not, I'm not going through any problems or any issues at all, then your energies could be manifesting in a very mundane sense. It could just be something that you're stumped on. It's like, hey, I'm happy in every area of my life, but I would like this to be, this way, but I really can't do this right now. So, life is pretty busy for me, and for the most part, I'm still busy with work. I kind of am isolating myself from other people. Yeah, there was some drama with the family, like that sort of thing, like mundane stuff. But other people could be experiencing these energies in a more deeper, more significant level. So that's what I have for you guys for the first 2 weeks of this month. I hope that this has been helpful for you. If it has, particularly those of you, anyone that wants to comment below, please do so. I always love to hear your feedback, but particularly for those of you that I've just expressed the more deeper intense part and aspect of this message, please, if you feel comfortable enough and you would like to share, please do so in the comment section below. And if you would like a personal counsel with me, I can be reached in the beginning and end of this video, as well as the description box below. And if you're new to this channel, welcome and subscribe, because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Cancer.